Alright guys, so welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's episode we've got a really special one for you. We've got a guest, Frankie Tech. You guys may know him if you follow the tech community quite a lot. He reviews loads of different phones, Xiaomi phones, Realme phones, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we've got him on a call today. We're just going to be interviewing him and asking, like, what does it take to become a tech YouTuber and other things like that. So without further ado, let's get right into the video.
Hi guys, it's Frankie from Frankie Tech. Good to see you guys again. And good to see you, Charlie. Thanks for having me on Tech.
Alright, so the first question is, what made you want to become a tech YouTuber?
It's crazy because like this whole thing started 2 years ago, but for the second time, actually, I originally wanted to get into YouTube back in 2015. So like, if you look back in the earliest parts of my channel, there are a few videos there that kind of started things in, it was I think January 2015. I did 2 videos. They bombed. They did really poorly and they just didn't do very well, and I just stopped. And I always wondered, like, for almost 3 years, I basically did not produce another video. And I just asked myself, like, why did I stop when I did? You know, because I really loved doing it, and I always told myself one day I'll do it again. And then on June 12th of 2018, I bought the Xiaomi Mi 8. You remember the Xiaomi Mi 8?
Yeah, I remember the Mi 8.
It was a great phone, and I was like just standing there, and I just bought it, and I thought, you know, maybe I should just record this and just put it online. And I did, and then the next day people were like, hey, we want to see the review, and then I did a review. And
nice.
What's up guys, it's Frankie from Frankie Tech, and I'm giving you just a quick overview here of the Xiaomi Mi 8. I literally just bought this bad boy on the streets of Hong Kong. Here we are.
2 years later, here we are. So you may feel like you're not getting the views, you know what I mean? But just always know, like, you keep trying, you can eventually.
What do you think it takes to become a tech YouTuber? Like the gear, like the right mindset and all that?
I think consistency is really important. So like if people start thinking, oh, we can look forward to a Tech R Us video once a week, then you kind of have the expectation set. But if you start doing it like, you know, you do once a week and then you don't do anything for a month, then people are gonna feel like, oh, where did he go? Like we were actually liking his stuff, and now we don't really know if he cares anymore. Even if it's a small video, like it doesn't have to be this huge production, right? Every single video. You can always still share other videos during the week. So I think, you know, easily you could do something and you could do 3 to 4 videos a week, and maybe some of them aren't so intense to do, but then the other ones are more intense, and you know, you kind of balance that.
So what is your favorite tech of today? So like the modern tech, what is your favorite?
Favorite current tech, the thing that I think is going to be the future is really foldables. And here's the Galaxy Z Flip. You can see it there. I mean, what phone do you know that can kind of sit like this, like a chair, that you can kind of watch YouTube on one side? You know, it's just such a cool
Aspect
phone.
ratio is a bit tall, but what can this display do that no other phone can? And that is close up on itself. There you go. And let's close this up on Frankie Tech. Boom. There it is.
I don't know if I love it as much as the Galaxy Fold, but I guess like for current tech, foldables are just so awesome. They're making, you know, phones exciting again. Now you imagine if this was like an actual Galaxy Fold 2 that opens up into a tablet. That's really the amazing thing. So I'd say foldables are probably like my favorite, like current tech. Talking about past tech, I love Android phones now, but I definitely started my passion in tech on the Apple side.
Is that the iPod?
This is. Yes,
iPod
this is the original iPod.
Oh, nice.
Touch. Not Touch, the original first gen iPod. I love this thing so much because I used to use one of these. I bought this one again. Basically, it's a kind of a newer version. But my original one of these, I use it from like 2001 to 2006. Long time ago, before I think you were around. But it was kind of my favorite kind of high school or like, you know, middle school player, you know, music player, MP3 player. And I just love this thing so much. And then obviously after the iPod, they had, maybe you'll recognize this was the iPhone. This is the phone that started it all. In a crazy way, we think about all the phones we have now, you know, they all started with being able to kind of touch the display. And this thing came out, when it came out in 2007, I was just like shocked. Basically loved my iPod touches, and like eventually I started using iPhones and then eventually Android phones. But yeah, this phone is a very kind of cool old. My original kind of like Android device that I ever used was this thing. It's called a Samsung Galaxy S.
Oh,
this is actually not even this is not even the phone. This was a Galaxy. It's called the Galaxy Player. So it was kind of like an iPod, but it was essentially what you would have seen like in a Galaxy Note or like one of the early Samsung phones. And this thing was just so cool. Like I loved this thing. I used it for like playing games or listening to music, and it still works. That's the craziest part. It still works. I think it's running Android 2 or 3 or something.
That's old.
It's nuts.
At what age did you realize you loved tech?
I've always loved tech. Like, I mean, I don't think it was as big of a passion until probably maybe early 2010s. I've always loved tech, you know, even whether it's gaming. I think the phones thing just started kind of a bit later when I was like getting into like phones, and I always loved iPhone. Then I loved, you know, like the Galaxy S when it came out. Then Nexus phones, I was really into like all of the Google phones. But I'd say I've always loved tech since I was even a kid. Like, you know, I get to 127,000 subscribers in 2 years, and I think the consistency thing is one part of it. But the other one is really be yourself. So like, I think a lot of people sometimes they try to create a persona online, like they're trying to be like, hey guys, like I'm Frankie, and today I'm gonna present you some great, you know, like that's not, this is me, and like I have my own personality, and so like you shouldn't feel nervous about being yourself with your audience. Just be your natural self, and kind of don't worry if some people may not like it. Everyone's gonna always have a negative thing to say about you, but the best thing to do is just to be yourself and be consistent about it. Just always be yourself. Don't start changing and copying other channels. Just like try to find your own, you know, your own approach to things. Like I look at MKBHD, like I watch his stuff. Like a lot of the ideas he has, I love it. Like Mr. Mobile, for example, he's awesome. Mr. Mobile, Mike Fisher does some great stuff. And like, you know, Joshua Vergara, all the Android Authority guys, all like the you know, like Super Staff is cool. Like they all have their own thing. But I guess my point was like I never wanted to try to just copy one of them. I always wanted to try to just do my own thing. Like the whole Just Keep Swimming thing. That's all just me. That's just it's a funny childish thing, but it's like also fun, and it's just like who cares? It's me. So I think that's the main kind of advice is to you know, keep doing videos, you know, consistently. You know, even if it's not the best quality, you'll keep learning. I think is the main point. Don't feel like you have to make it every single video like some amazing thing. Like you'll keep learning as you make better videos, and you'll just get better over time. And just do it as yourself, because if you're yourself, then you don't have to worry about, you know, about people thinking that you've changed or anything, because you've always been yourself. As long as you kind of stay true to yourself, then you can just create your own thing, and people will love it.
Having owned a folding phone, do you think they're the future, or do you think, you know, they're not worth investing all the time in?
I think it's going to be a perfect mix of like portability, but it's also going to be able to become like a tablet. And in the future, I think we're going to see those kind of tablets that can even become like laptop replacements. That's going to be a cool thing.
What's your most hyped phone release?
You know, like in the old times, it was like whenever an iPhone released, it's always a big deal. I always watch the keynotes. Then I watch like Samsung Unpacked. I watch Google I/O. Like I watch all of them now. I really want to see the big next phones of all the major companies and stuff like that. I think recently the one that was like really hyped up, surprisingly, was the Xiaomi Mi 10 Pro. At least for me, it was kind of interesting for me that time because for the first time ever, I actually got the phone before.
That's pretty impressive.
Release. And so Xiaomi basically reached out to me, and I was able to review the global version of the phone, and I had it for like a month before the actual release of the global version. It's not like a normal, I guess, consumer where you watch and you finally see all the reveal. For me, I was waiting to like unleash my review. Like the minute the presentation goes live at 9 p.m., you can drop the video. And
that must have been awesome.
The PM rolled around, the guy walks on stage, and then I was like, click, and boom! I just like, there's the global review, and it's like I've been using this for. I felt like MKBHD. Always says,
Marquez.
I've been using this phone for like 3 weeks. And these are my exactly. So it was so hyped, and it was like fun because I was watching the presentation, but I was also answering comments on my channel on the phone, and it was just such a cool moment because like you've always lived it kind of on the other side.
Yeah.
And, you know, one day you'll get there, Charlie. You'll get there, and it'll be an awesome moment where you're able to release this review of yours at the same time as
the event
when
comes
a
out.
phone is
What
announced.
do you edit on, Frankie?
I'll give you kind of the rundown of like the history of my editing experience, like from Frankie Tech. I was filming and editing everything on the iPhone. I was using iMovie on the iPhone, and I probably did that for the first 3 months of my channel. No one knows this. I've never told this to anyone.
Yeah.
But then eventually, I wanted to find like a better application to kind of keep doing it, but on the iPhone. And then I started using this thing called LumaFusion.
Oh, LumaFusion, yeah.
LumaFusion. It's a really great app. It's a really powerful video editor, and it works on iPad, on iPhone. It's just really powerful, and it almost works like some of the better video editors. And I probably used that for a couple months as well. But then I think the biggest change for me was around, I'd say, kind of October, November of 2018 at the point, like 5 months into the channel. And I got a MacBook Pro at the time.
Nice.
And at that point, I was like, okay, I started using iMovie on the MacBook Pro for a bit, but I told myself, look, I need to really step up my editing game.
Yeah.
And so I was a bit intimidated by it, but I said, you know, the only way I'm going to get better is if I just push myself to just use one of the best softwares out there. And that's what I'm using now, and that's what I've been using basically since like early 2019, which is Final Cut and Final Cut Pro. iMac, 27-inch with a Core i9, this is top of the line iMac, and that's the one I do most of my editing on now. So I use Final Cut for that.
So this is the final question: how much PUBG Mobile do you play?
Oh, that's a good question.
The greatest one.
To be completely honest with you, Charlie, I don't play as much PUBG Mobile as I think people maybe think I do. PUBG Mobile is one of the first apps that I install on the phone. So I typically will do, if I'm reviewing like a new phone a week, I'll probably do like the 1 hour, like before I actually do the actual video with playing PUBG, and then I'll do the video itself. And that kind of footage that you see in the video is normally, it's like 2 or 3 minutes of what is more like a 15 or 20 minute kind of quick gaming session kind of thing. So like all in all, I probably only play like an hour and a half or so of PUBG a week. Like I don't play much at all. And it's crazy to think, and I think it's obvious people know it because my skills aren't so great, and I love the game, but I'm just terrible. I'm like, it's almost funny at this point. Sometimes I kill bots and like, yes, booyah, you know. And if you play PUBG though, Charlie, maybe you should like teach me some tricks. Because honestly, I'm not good, and I wish I could improve a little bit more so I wouldn't look so bad when I play on the channel. I wish I could magically send you a phone, have you record the PUBG gameplay,
and then just magically send it back.
And then magically send it back. That would be like an amazing setup. Again, Charlie, for having me on the channel, guys, and thanks to all you audience out there watching this. Definitely, check out Charlie's work. Keep supporting this guy. He's doing awesome work. Yeah. And like I said, one day, this is in your future, bro. This is in your future, and just keep striving because this thing, yes, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time, but you do get there eventually. And I think, with your passion for tech, you can get there, man. So just keep doing what you're doing.
Frankie Tech, signing off. Have a good one. Oh, yes! That was amazing.
Awesome, you did it. Awesome.
So, guys, that was the interview with Frankie Tech. I don't know if you're still on iPad, but if you are, that's Frankie Tech. Make sure to go and check him out on Frankie Tech on YouTube, youtube.com/Frankie Tech, if, you like typing in links. But I'll leave a link to his channel in the description. But yeah, thanks for coming on, Frankie. It's been really great to have you. Been a pleasure to speak to. Absolutely awesome. Keep going because I really love your content. So, and I'll keep going too. Hopefully, I can get there one day. So, yeah.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Charlie. You keep it up too, man. Keep up the good work.